Body dysmorphia is a real thing. I go through, a lot of people who go through their fitness transformations go through. And the goal obviously is just to love yourself in terms of how you look and feel. Obviously, if you're completely out of shape, you're skinny, you're weak and frail, I mean, there's a level of body dysmorphia which is pretty accurate. If you don't like what you see in the mirror, it's partly true, but don't get me wrong. It sometimes when you're really physically fit, you want to get to a point where you're just like, man, I fucking love what I see in the mirror. I'm jacked as shit. I love what I see. I love how I feel about myself. So this whole point of this video is for me to kind of reflect with you guys, to explain to you guys what I've gone through and how I overcome it. Okay? How I overcame it. I say overcome in a present tense, because there's moments, of course there's moments where I go through it 100%, but I know how to get myself out of it pretty fucking quick. So let me give you some context. When I started training, I used to be about 32, about 62, 61 kilos, about 5'10" to 6 feet tall, roughly, okay? So obviously I hated the way I looked at myself in the mirror. I could probably say for the first, when I started training at 15 years old, I probably didn't look at myself in the mirror until I was 18 years old. That's how much I hated that's how much I hated the way I looked at myself in the mirror. I used to always squint, avoid pictures, avoid any sort of reflections of myself. But I got to a point where I started loving myself. But fast forward to like 25, 26, I was at my peak. I was about 210 pounds, about 67% body fat, as lean as I am right now. So probably like right now, you see right now, right, pretty fucking lean. But I'll never forget, there was a point, I looked at myself in the mirror, I was like, man, I don't feel that big, I don't feel that jacked. Then I realized, oh my God, I'm going down that rabbit hole, what a lot of bodybuilders go through. It's like you're ever forever skinny, you're forever not big enough. But then I realized what was going on. I didn't want to be that guy. There's a few things that I realized, I'm like, how come I was like a $185, $190? There's times I fucking loved how I looked at myself in the mirror, but it got to a point where I reached the goal, it was never enough. Then I realized what it was. There's a few factors. A1, how lean I was. When I'm super lean, I look a lot more jacked than I am. So that's one. Okay, so I could be 210 pounds and like not as lean, based on how you feel, not as vascular, and that can affect my mindset, especially on a lean guy. The second thing is how I go through my day. If I'm on a rough day, if I'm in a bad mood, my emotions are negative. If I feel miserable, like one of those fitness people on stage, when they're just draining themselves, physiologically speaking, they feel like total shit. So if you feel like total shit, how do you think you're gonna look at yourself in the mirror and you're gonna love what you see now? You're gonna start picking certain things. Just think about those days when you're fucking negative, when you felt like really bad about yourself. It could be a beautiful morning, beautiful sunny day, and you hate your life. You're like, oh man, global warming, fuck this. You go into your job, you hate your fucking job. When there was days you fucking loved your job. So why is it some days when you walk into your job you fucking hate it, some days you love your job? Same thing with your body. And I realized, I learned this from 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. The habits that align to our future outcome that we want to go to creates a positive mental attitude and change how we see this world. We only see the positive things in life. When we break away from those good habits, when we break away from the path that we're told to follow through on a deeper level, on our conscience is telling us to do, when we keep going against that, our own word, it fucks with our own spirit, it fucks with our own self-belief, it fucks with our own confidence. So then we only see the worst of ourselves in the mirror. So when I have a lot of clients, I've had a lot of clients too, where they lose 40 pounds and they'll message me out of the blue, because I check in my clients all the time, 24/7, around the clock, they can message me. Okay, because people think the blueprint, the workout program is what's going to get them successful. In reality, it's everything outside of the gym. How you conduct yourself. How's your mental health? Because you can have a great physique, you can have that body you've always dreamed about. But if you shoot yourself in the mirror, shoot yourself in the foot, you start doing drugs and alcohol, you start doing fucking the great degenerative behaviors to the point where, or you conduct yourself in a immoral, unethical manner, you're gonna hate yourself. So I've had clients who've lost 40 pounds and they're just like, one day they're fucking loving themselves, and then part of my job as a coach is to wait for the days where it's rough, because it's that the whole point of being able to like grow physically strong and lean is to feel good about ourselves physically too. Feel good, key word. So I wait for those days where they slip, so they can get back on track as soon as possible. So I'll never forget this. One of my clients, her name is Haley. If you look on my website, she went through a rough patch. She's just like, Sam, I lost 40 pounds. I know I lost 40 pounds on the scale, but I look at myself in the mirror and I don't see a fucking change. I don't like the way I look. So the first thing I told her was, get that work at it. You're going through an emotional state. Something is fucking with your emotions, life circumstances. Get that work at it and get that grinding, and then talk to me right after that. And then we'll have the same exact conversation. Next day, she's just like, whoops. I guess that my mind was just very negative. I love how I feel about myself. I love what I see in the mirror. Body dysmorphia. Very important. So how we conduct ourselves, if we're very emotional, if we're very negative, it fucks with the way we see our world. You ever know those guys who complain about life, about everything? Everything's a fucking negative thing. To the point where you can't just deal with them. Like, Jesus Christ, fucking everything's fucking negative. I don't even want to be around you. You're fucking terrible. How do you think they look themselves in the mirror? And they can be very attractive people. They're just like, well, I don't like this. I don't like that. They're pinpointing. They're just like picking at it. Or those people who always have plastic surgeries to the point where it's like, it's never fucking enough. Jesus fucking Christ, they're already gorgeous enough, but they're looking for that one fucking thing that's an issue. That one, like, it's like my I don't fucking know. My nose is not perfectly aligned on this fucking little piece of meat skin. Okay? And just to give you perspective, I once walked into a plastic surgery clinic as a kid. I never told anyone this story, but I'm going to mention it again. I had that self-image issues. Now I look at myself in the mirror, I fucking love what I see. There are days where I'm just like, bro, I don't like the way I look. It's mostly because of how I conduct myself throughout my day. I'm not doing the things I should be doing. I'm not doing the calls. I'm not messaging my clients. I'm not growing my business. I'm not following through my martial arts. I'm being lazy. I'm procrastinating. All those small little details. And when I do, how do you think I look at myself in the mirror? I don't like looking at myself in the mirror. I'm not proud of what I see in the mirror. That's body dysmorphia for you. Okay? So my goal is, as I coach a lot of my clients, they'll go through that body dysmorphic areas. I always teach them in terms of how to start their day strong. Drop the drugs and alcohol if it's messing with your life, any sort of vices. Try to be as disciplined as possible. So follow through with anything you said you're going to do. If there's anything that's your mind is telling you to do, follow through with it. Any sort of hobbies or anything that you said you're going to do with your job, follow through with it. And tell me how proud you feel about yourself. You're going to start loving yourself what you see in the mirror. You're going to only see the positive things. And anything that's negative, is going to be neutral. You're not going to really care about it too much. I can speak about this from my own circumstance. Okay, so when I walked into a plastic surgery clinic, I wasn't happy with my nose. I wasn't happy with my ears. Actually, when I was 15 years old, when I started training, I couldn't look at myself in the mirror. I didn't like anything. I didn't like my forehead. I didn't like my hairline. I didn't like my ears. I didn't like my chin. I didn't like my nose. I didn't like anything. But now, even though like I'm not 210 pounds and as big as I was, I'm a $180 plus minus. I love how I feel about myself in my own skin. There's a saying that George St. Pierre, he's arguably one of the greatest martial artists on the planet. He said this saying, it's very important. I'll never forget this. He said, when you look good, you feel good. You feel good, you do good in life. I'm going to add one more thing to that. When you move good, as in you continuously move and exercise, then you feel good. And because you feel good within your own skin, because you're exercising, you're getting the blood flowing, the oxygen pumping, you're grounding your emotions, you're grounding your nerves, you feel confident about yourself after a good workout, you feel energetic. Then you look at yourself in the mirror and then you see what you look, and then you look good. Because you move good, you feel good, you look good. You move good, you feel good, you feel good, you do good. So, you move good, you feel good, and because you feel good, you look good. Because you look good and all those things and you feel good, then you do good things in life. Then you go through your day. Then you go through everything. You're like, I feel good about myself. Just like this video. I'm making this video for you guys. I had a great fucking morning. I went into TriStar. I keep seeing this to a lot of people. I don't get paid to set up the gym at TriStar. I don't know if you guys know this. I train at martial gyms. I train at martial arts gyms here in Montreal at TriStar. I don't get paid to clean it up on Sundays, but I still do because it makes me feel good inside. I feel proud of myself for doing it. When the gym is all set up, like a lot of people are negative. Oh, I gotta go to a gym and do a janitorial job and clean it up and sweep and mop, blah blah blah. early in the morning, everyone's sleeping, their life is good, it's a Sunday, they're drinking and partying, they're doing all these crazy ass things, and here I am, fucking going in for free, fucking 3 a.m., mopping, cleaning, putting all the equipment away. Shit, what the fuck? And I do this for fucking free. Because I realized when you can give meaning to anything. And when you do it for a deeper purpose and you realize you're serving other people around you, and then you do a workout where you serve yourself, you feel good about yourself. So I'm personally developing myself first thing in the morning, and then I'm helping other people around me. And then how I see myself in the mirror is a lot more positive. Okay? So when it comes to body dysmorphia and you're going through your own little transformation, I'm gonna also mention this too. That's why taking pictures of yourself before and after is very important. Because you have a visual cue. Don't say mirrors. Because I've had clients they'll stand on the scale and they don't know what the fuck is going on, and they're using the scale as a judgment call. There's a few factors to kind of overcome body dysmorphia. So you know as you're transforming, you know you're growing. Pictures are very important, before and after. Okay? Measuring tape, very important. You want to measure your biceps because it's very lean. You can do your forearms too. Biceps, chest, waist, hips, ass, quads, calf. Those are the main ones. You can do neck too, but those are the main ones. You don't have to do both sides. You can do one side. There's a bit of a plus minus. There's a bit of error, so you have to go through a few months, understand your body first. There's a few other factors. The scale is also very important, but because there's fluctuation, plus minus, it's like 20. It's one tool out of many. Clothes are very important too, because that will tell you a lot. And then mirror, you can use the mirror too, but then I like to say compliments. You can use also those like fancy body fat percentage things, but like that measure it. But I never really do that. Okay? And when you're already lean, you can see like veins and abs. You're golden. And just to give you perspective, there have been days where I've been a higher percent body fat and happier than I was when I was at a lower percent body fat. There are days where I was like 9% body fat, a lot happier than I was when I was probably high 6s or 7% body fat. All because in terms of how I conduct myself throughout my day. Okay, so if your goal is to be super lean, that fitness model on stage, understand when they're on stage, they're fucking miserable. So the goal is to be like, man, I want to walk down the street, feel good about myself, not just like flexing, for a fucking picture. So how do I do that? All right, people, just a bit of a reflection post. Stay strong, be proud of yourself. Let's get it.